Mr. Wabu. We live in both places now. Okay. What happened Tuesday, everybody? What up, Uncle JP? What up? What up? Beautiful people, beautiful people, beautiful people. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all day off. Yes. And yesterday, if you got to rest. Well, thank you, thank you. Alright, beautiful people. Just double checking my chapters real quick. We got that going on. Shayla, Great Rising. Belinda Brown, Blessing. Shalom, shalom, Mom. Alright, y'all. Happy Tuesday. It is May the 4th, 2021. Day 144 of year 3 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets. And of the 3-year consecutive day count, day 813, 813. Remember, that is without the Sabbath days and the Sabbath feast days added into the count. Why? Because we rest on those days, right? We try to keep to Yahuah's commands as much as possible. You got 6 days for working. Take one of them days out of that 7-day week and rest on the Sabbath, right? And so that's what we do. Today we are reading 1 Chronicles chapter 14, 15, and 16. And after we get done with that, we're hopping right on over here to our companion reading that we have just started. Fossilized Customs. Beautiful people. If you ain't got it, you definitely should go get it. Uh-oh. Let me knock my whole screen back. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Let me pull myself together. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get started with the Shema. Remember, the Shema is found in Deuteronomy chapter 6. So we start in verse 3, but read the full chapter for full context. We have not taken it out of context here, but you will read more of the blessings that Yahuah said you will get when you keep his commands, all right? Everybody's attention, please. Everybody. Hear, therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with you, and that you may increase mightily, as Yahuah, the God of our fathers, has promised us in the land that flows with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, pay attention, listen up. Hear, O Israel, Yahuah, our God, he is one God, and you shall love Yahuah, your God, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children. And you shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the posts of your house and on your gates. And Yahuah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yahuah our God for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day. You know how you're alive today at this day? May he keep us alive as it is this day, right? In full health, all things being good. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahuah our God, as he has commanded us. All right? All right, beautiful people. So let's go ahead and hop on over here to the reading in 1 Chronicles chapter 14. Hezekiah, shalom, brother. Shalom, shalom. All right. Here we go. First Chronicles. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. First Chronicles chapter 14. David's palace and family. Then King Hiram of Tyre sent messengers to David along with cedar timber and stone masons and carpenters to build him a palace. And David realized that Yahuah had confirmed him as king over Israel and had greatly blessed his kingdom for the sake of his people Israel. And then David married more wives in Jerusalem, and they had more sons and daughters. These are the names of David's sons who were born in Jerusalem: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Eliphalet, Nogan, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphalet. He got two sons named. Hold on. Oh, Elpilet was the first one, and Eliphalet is the second one. That was my bad. I mispronounced the first one wrong. It's Elpilet, and the last one is Eliphalet. Okay. When the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over all Israel, they mobilized all their forces to capture him. But David was told they were coming, so he marched out to meet them. The Philistines arrived and made a raid in the valley of Rephaim. So David asked Yahuah, "Should I go out to fight the Philistines? Will you hand them over to me?" Yahuah replied, "Yes, go ahead, and I will hand them over to you." So David and his troops went up to Baal Perazim and defeated the Philistines there. Yahuah did it, David exclaimed. He used me to burst through my enemies like a raging flood. So they named that place Baal Perazim, which means Yahuah who burst through. The Philistines abandoned their gods there, so David gave orders to burn them. But after a while, the Philistines returned and raided the valley again. And once again, David asked Yahuah what to do. "Do not attack them straight on," Yahuah replied. "Instead, circle around back and attack them near the poplar trees. When you hear a sound like marching feet in the tops of the poplar trees, go out and attack. That will be the signal that Yahuah is moving ahead of you to strike down the Philistine army." So David did what Yahuah commanded and struck down the Philistine army all the way from Gibeon to Gezer. So David's fame spread everywhere, and Yahuah caused all the nations to fear David. I'm not sure if y'all remember when we were reading through Legends of the Jews, this particular scene right here, it gave more detail about this particular war right here, and when David was inquiring about this, it was pretty good. All right, First Chronicles chapter 15. Now David built several buildings for himself in the city of David. He also prepared a place for the ark of Yahuah and set up a special tent for it. Then he commanded, "No one except the Levites may carry the ark of Yahuah. Yahuah has chosen them to carry the ark of Yahuah and to serve him forever." Then David summoned all Israel to Then David summoned all Israel to Jerusalem to bring the ark of Yahuah to the place he had prepared for it. This is the number of the descendants of Aaron, the priests, and the Levites who are called together. From the clan of Kohath, 120, with Uriel as their leader. From the clan of Merari, 220, with Asaiah as their leader. From the clan of Gershon, 130, with Joel as their leader. From the descendants of Elizaphan, 200, with Shemaiah as their leader. From the descendants of Hebron, 80, with Eliel as their leader. From the descendants of Uzziel, with Aminadab as their leader. Then David summoned the priests, Zadok and Abiathar, and these Levite leaders, Uriel, Asaiah, Joel, Shemaiah, Eliah, and Aminadab. He said to them, "You are the leaders of the Levite families. You must purify yourselves and all your fellow Levites so you can bring the ark of Yahuah, the God of Israel, to the place I have prepared for it. Because you Levites did not carry the ark the first time, the anger of Yahuah our God burst out against us. We failed to ask Yahuah how to move it properly." Remember, Uzziah reached out his hand and grabbed it. He died. You're not a Levite, buddy. You shouldn't have been touching it. Greetings, Uncle Nathaniel. Because you Levites did not carry the ark the first time, the anger of Yahuah our God burst out against us. We failed to ask Yahuah how to move it properly. So the priests and the Levites purified themselves in order to bring the ark of Yahuah, the God of Israel, to Jerusalem. Then the Levites carried the ark of Yahuah on their shoulders with its carrying poles, just as Yahuah had instructed Moses. Remember, the ark was riding on a cart, which is why when they hit that bump, it almost hit the ground. Uzziah reached out to catch it, almost failed. Now he realized we need to be carrying it. The Levites need to be carrying it on their shoulders, right? Then the Levites carried the ark of Yahuah on their shoulders with its carrying poles, just as Yahuah had instructed Moses. David also ordered the Levite leaders to appoint a choir of Levites who were singers and musicians to sing joyful songs to the accompaniment of harps, lyres, and cymbals. So the Levites appointed Heman, son of Joel, along with his fellow Levites, Asaph, son of Berechiah, and Ethan, son of Cushiah, from the clan of Merari. The following men were chosen as their assistants: Zechariah, Jaziel, Ramoth, Jehiel, Uni, Eliah, Benaiah, Messiah, Mattathiah, Eliphelehu, Micniah, and the gatekeepers, Obed-Edom, and Jael. Let me say something also. You guys ever notice how you listen to different worship music? There is different worship music, and different songs carry different spirits about them, right? You can always tell when a true Levite who has been ordained, at least in the temple, with the worship that is to it, the leader, like the worship leaders, those who are ordained by Yah to actually sing his praises, to bring his presence for the people. You can always tell the songs that have true Levites in them, right? Because the song, it doesn't matter when the song is played, sung, or whenever you hear that song, the spirit of Yah, the presence of Yah is always on that song, right? Because it has come out of a real Levite, right? Okay, I know y'all all experienced it. You may not have thought about it. Some worship songs are just good, or it's a good song, I like it, but there are some songs that will put you prostrate on the floor in the presence of Yah. Those are the people you need to be watching. We need them people. Where are they at, right? It's like King, like, oh Lord. No, absolutely not. No, that's not what I'm talking about, son. But it's those people, those who worship like that, where they immediately bring a presence of Yah. Keep your eye on them, right? When we're having gatherings and we're calling for Yah, bring the leader, the singers, the players of, same thing with the players of instruments. There are people who have gifts with playing instruments, and there are people who have gifts of playing instruments that bring the presence of Yah in this place, even though they never open their mouth. We need them. Put them in the right place, right? We learn how to properly delegate the people with the gifts, just like we see when they're building the temple. You put them people in the proper place, and we're almost guaranteed for the presence of Yah to show up when we pray, when we cry out, and when we worship. He will be found there, right? Y'all gotta pay attention to that stuff. The musicians, Heman, Asaph, and Ethan, were chosen to sound the bronze cymbals. Zechariah, Azael, Shemirath, Jehiel, Uni, Eliah, Messiah, Messiah, and Benaiah were chosen to play the harps. Mattathiah, Eliphelehu, Micniah, Obed-Edom, Jael, and Azariah were chosen to play the lyres. Caniah, the head Levite, was chosen as the choir leader because of his skill. Berechiah and Elkanah were chosen to guard the ark. Shebaniah, Jehoshaphat, Nathanael, Amasai, Zechariah, Benaiah, and Eleazar, all of whom were priests, were chosen to blow the trumpets as they marched in front of the ark of Yahuah. Obed-Edom and Jehiel were chosen to guard the ark. Then David and the leaders of Israel and the generals of the army went to the house of Obed-Edom to bring the ark of Yahuah's covenant up to Jerusalem with a great celebration. And because Yahuah was clearly helping the Levites as they carried the ark of Yahuah's covenant, they sacrificed 7 bulls and rams. David was dressed in a robe of fine linen, as were all the Levites who carried the ark, and also the singers and Caniah, the choir leader. David was also wearing a priestly garment. So all Israel brought up the ark of Yahuah's covenant with shouts of joy, the blowing of ram's horns and trumpets, the crashing of cymbals, and loud playing on harps and lyres. But as the ark of Yahuah's covenant entered the city of David, Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked down from her window. When she saw King David skipping and laughing with joy, she was filled with contempt for him. All right, y'all, last chapter for today, 1 Chronicles chapter 16. They brought the ark of Yahuah and placed it inside the special tent David had prepared for it. And they presented burnt offerings and peace offerings to Yahuah. When he had finished his sacrifices, David blessed the people in the name of Yahuah. Then he gave to every man and woman in all Israel a loaf of bread, a cake of dates, and a cake of raisins. David appointed the following Levites to lead the people in worship before the ark of Yahuah, to invoke his blessings, to give thanks, and to praise Yahuah, the God of Israel. Asaph, the leader of this group, sounded the cymbals. Second to him was Zechariah, followed by Jael, Shemiramoth, Jahiel, Mattathiah, Eliab, Benaiah, Obed-Edom, and Jael. They played the harps and lyres. The priests, Benaiah and Jahaziel, played the trumpets regularly before the ark of Yahuah's covenant. On that day, David gave to Asaph and his fellow Levites this song of thanksgiving to Yahuah. Give thanks to the Lord and proclaim his greatness. Let the whole world know what he has done. Sing to him, yes, sing his praises. Tell everyone about his wonderful deeds. Exalt in his holy name. Rejoice, you who worship Yahuah. Search for Yahuah and for his strength. Continually seek him. Remember the wonders he has performed, his miracles and the rulings he have given. You children of his servant Israel. Remember, when they say Israel, Israel is a people, right? It was a people first before it was a place, right? Although Yahuah created the land first, but the people are the one who named the lands after people, right? So his name was Jacob. Yahuah renamed him to Israel. So a lot of time we hear Israel, we think about land. But when we say Israel, we're talking about us, the people, the descendants of Jacob, right? Remember the wonders he has performed, his miracles, and the rulings he has given. You children of his servant Israel, you descendants of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is Yahuah our God. His justice is seen throughout the land. Remember his covenant forever, the commitment he made to 1,000 generations. This is the covenant he made with Abraham and the oath he swore to Isaac. He confirmed it to Jacob as a decree and to the people of Israel as a never-ending covenant. I will give you the land of Canaan as your special possession. He said this when you were few in number, a tiny group of strangers in Canaan. They wandered from nation to nation, from one kingdom to another. Yet he did not let anyone oppress them. He warned kings on their behalf. Do not touch my chosen people. Do not hurt my prophets. And when Yahuah said this, he was talking about his people, Israel, right? I know some people in the church today, they take that out of context. When they want to preach something against you or condemn somebody, then come back and say, do not touch my anointed, do my prophets no harm. Yahuah wasn't talking about you. He was talking about his entire people, right? Yet he did not let anyone oppress them. He warned kings on their behalf. Do not touch my chosen people, and do not hurt my prophets. And the prophets are always from Israel, right? The prophets of Yahuah always come from his bloodline people. Let the whole earth sing to Yahuah. Each day proclaim the good news that he saves. That who saves? That Yahuah saves. Let the whole earth sing to Yahuah. Each day proclaim the good news that he saves. Publish his glorious deeds among the nations. Tell everyone about the amazing things he does. Great is Yahuah. He is most worthy of praise. He is to be feared above all gods. The gods of other nations are mere idols, but Yahuah made the heavens. Honor and majesty surround him. Strength and joy fill his dwelling. O nations of the world, recognize Yahuah. Recognize Yahuah, that he is glorious and strong. Give to Yahuah the glory he deserves. Bring your offering and come into his presence. Worship Yahuah in all his holy splendor. Let all the earth tremble before him. The world stands firm and cannot be shaken. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Tell all the nations, Yahuah reigns. Let the sea and everything in it shout his praise. Let the fields and their crops burst out with joy. Let the trees of the forest sing for joy before Yahuah, for he is coming to judge the earth. No one else is coming but Yahuah alone. Yahuah alone. Yahuah alone. He said there was no one with me in the beginning, and there will be no one after me. There is not another Savior. No, not one. If there is, I know not one. Let the trees of the forest sing for joy before Yahuah, for he is coming to judge the earth. Give thanks to Yahuah, for he is good. His faithful love endures forever. Cry out, save us, O Yah, our God of salvation. Gather and rescue us from among the nations, so we can thank your holy name and rejoice and praise you. The praise of Yahuah, the God of Israel, who lives from everlasting to everlasting. And all the people shouted, Amen, and praised Yahuah. David arranged for Asaph and his fellow Levites to serve regularly before the ark of Yahuah's covenant, doing whatever needed to be done each day. This group included Obed-Edom, the son of Jeduthun, Hosa, and 68 other Levites as gatekeepers. Meanwhile, David stationed Zadok the priest and his fellow priests at the tabernacle of Yahuah at the place of worship in Gibeon, where they continued to minister before Yahuah. They sacrificed the regular burnt offerings to Yahuah each morning and evening on the altar set aside for that purpose, obeying everything written in the law of Yahuah as he had commanded Israel. David also appointed Heman, Jeduthun, and the others chosen by name to give thanks to Yahuah, for his faithful love endures forever. They used their trumpets, cymbals, and other instruments to accompany their songs of praise to Yahuah, and the sons of Jeduthun were appointed as gatekeepers. Then all the people returned to their homes, and David turned and went home to bless his own family. All right, beautiful people. So that was our reading for today from Yahuah's Holy Book of Instruction. 1 Chronicles 14, 15, and 16. Alicia, y'all, shalom, joy, risings. Okay, y'all. All right, so amen. Okay, y'all, let's go over here to Fossilized Customs and pick up on page 24. I know, make you want to break out into praise, don't it? All right, y'all. So we're picking up with Nimrod's rebellion. So remember, when we were here Sunday, we was going over how they changed the days that Yahuah had set out and had given them all names, and as well as the months. And it went in detail of why each day of the week was given the name and which God that it was named after, as well as the months, right? So when you're naming the day of weeks, you're literally calling the names of their pagan gods, right? The entire world has been led astray to worship after the beast, right? Everything in this world has been named after the beast and false gods and idols And it is thoroughly steep. We were born into the beast system. While people are looking for the beast system to come, it's been here. It's been here since the time of Constantine, and they started changing all this. This is what's bringing it to light. And a lot of faiths, and we talk about Christianity specifically because most of us, that's where we came out of. And some of us came out of Islam, not me. I came out of Christianity, right? But as Yahuah began to open our eyes, he said, pay attention. You were born into the beast system. It's not coming. It's been here. You were born in it. That's why he tells his people, come out of her, my people, right? He is calling to us to come out of the beast system. You're not going to get the mark. You already got the beast mark. That's why he's calling us out. Come out of her, my people. Okay? Joanne, hey, sis, hey, Shabbat Shalom, Lindsay, Boker Toe. Who else? Hey, who's that? Turn it down. She is so loud. Okay, y'all. So page 24. And the section is Nimrod's rebellion. All right. Okay. Pagan priests were astrologers who closely monitored the positions of the sun, moon, 5 of the planets, and constellation of stars. Josiah, shalom, brother, shalom. Okay, make sure the sun not shining too bright over here so y'all can see. Okay. Let me just start over. Pagan priests were astrologers who closely monitored the position of the sun, moon, 5 of the planets, and constellation of stars. The Mazzaroth, or the host of heaven, they call it the host of heaven, the Mazzaroth, were the sky deities they worshiped. At set times during the year, obligatory worship and human sacrifice was conducted, all based on sex. Oh, look, talking about this right here. If you were here Sunday, I mentioned a couple things in Fossilized Customs, but if you go back to the notes in the pin section on Sunday, I posted 2 videos. It's by Hebrew Nation Building, right? And they actually, a lot of the stuff that we're going over, they actually brought out a lot of that in there, and they show pictures and stuff. So I think that's a really good resource for you to go check out when you get a chance. It's if you go to my YouTube page and you click on a section at the top that say playlist, go in there, and it says education, and then it says in this sign conquer. That's where you'll find it at. It's education, and then it says in this sign conquer, and the sign that they conquer in is a sign of the cross, right? They're different. They design the cross in different ways, but it's in that. Back up, son. If it ain't got nothing to do with this, it can wait till after the reading.
It do.
Okay, well, just hold on 1 second. And it goes and explains all of that, right? So when you get a chance, the pictures and how he explains it is really, really enlightening, right? And it's like I said, it's going over a lot of this stuff and everything that is done, even in the Christian church, and all the symbolism and all that. Everything has to do with sex and orgies, and we don't even realize. Just like the astral pole, we remember it represents the male penis, right? Remember how they decorate the tree? The tree represents the male penis. The ornaments that you put on it represents the testicles and the tinsel. A lot of people don't use tinsel today, but I remember the tinsel growing up, throwing it on the tree. It represents the semen. The wreath that people put on the doors, what y'all think they represent? The woman's vagina, right? Everything. We are thoroughly steeped in sexual ritual practices, and we're taught to believe that it's really something else, right? You really can't change the origin of the thing by changing the definition to a generation that's newly come, right? We're still doing, well, I'm not. A lot of people are still doing it, and they're doing it out of ignorance, and they don't even realize it. That's why Yahuah said you have to completely come out of her. There is no sanitizing it, making it, oh, we're going to do this for y'all. Yahuah say, do not worship me like they worship their gods. You must completely come out of her. Come out of the beast system, the Babylonian system, and set yourself apart. Okay, so make sure you look at that playlist section. It says education, and this sign conquer, and it's 2 videos. So, and it's like I said, it's really, really good. It'll bring a lot more clarity, even to a lot of this that we're reading. He just explains it in another way that's really clear. And I think this is really clear, but that's really good as well. Because you know how you listen to different people teach you something, but this teacher teaches it just a little more clear than this teacher, although they were saying the same thing. This teacher may use different I think you use it different analogies and examples, kind of drive the point home to where it's like, boom, duh, oh my gosh, why couldn't I see that, right? So that's why I think that's really good. You get a chance to go look at it. Salama, Alicia, Salama. Okay.
Y'all have a lot of greetings. First is Batwabu Salama.
Son, I know you've been here. Whatever greeting people greet me in, I will greet them back in their greeting, right? The Mazaroth, or host of heaven, were the sky deities they worship. At set times during the year, obligatory worship and human sacrifice was conducted, all based on sex. They knew the path of the sun crossed the celestial equator at the vernal and autumnal equinoxes, producing equal days and nights at those events. Now, back to Nimrod, the first king on the earth. He was the grandson of Ham. See Genesis chapter 10. His secular title is suspected to be Sargon the First, and he built Babylon and Nineveh. It was possibly Nimrod who built the Tower of Babel, a ziggurat made of bricks. The ruins still exist. Nimrod was a tyrant, and that is what his name means. He was a mighty hunter before Yahuah. The word before means against in Hebrew. So a lot of people thinking he was against Yah, and everything that he did was against the covenant, right? He was a mighty hunter before Yahuah. The word before means against in Hebrew. Nimrod turned the people against the truth and began the worship of the sky luminaries. Children were sacrificed in exchange for prosperity. He wore a headpiece with a horn in front as a ruler, a symbol of his power and authority. Kings' crowns with horns used this design. The marauding heathens of Genghis Khan and the Vikings of the Norse wore horned hats and helmets to instill fear. Nimrod's idolatry and ruthlessness caused his uncle Shem to destroy him, cutting his body into parts and distributing them around the kingdom. It is said that Nimrod took his mother Semiramis as a wife. At his death, his wife mother consoled the people of Sumer by saying that she carried Nimrod's child and named him Tammuz. The PDF. What did you send it to, Hezekiah? I was waiting on it. He said, speaking of Nimrod, did you get a chance to read the PDF I sent? I'll double check again because I was looking for it and I didn't see it. You emailed it? Where'd you put it at? Let me know and I'll go back and check it when we're done. But I didn't, but I was looking for it and then I forgot about it because I didn't see it. Okay. But just let me know where you sent it to. And I'll go looking for it to resend it. Send it to the email address in the About section. If anybody ever want to email me something, look in the About section. And my email is there. It's awakentotruthtoday@gmail.com. And awaken to the number 2 to truth. Awaken to truth today is another 2. Awaken the number 2. Awaken to truth, the number 2 today. So it's awaken to truth today@gmail.com. All right. I sent it in the chat. Oh, yeah. See, in the chat. Well, I didn't see it. Sometimes they, if you send links inside the live chat, it won't show up or it's not clickable. So you're going to have to put it in the actual comment section. So go ahead and put it in the comment section. Yeah, just put it in the comment section of today's video. Like even today, you can post something in the chat section, not the live chat, but the comment section today. And I'll look at it. Thanks. Okay. It is said that Nimrod took his mother Semiramis as a wife. At his death, his wife mother consoled the people of Sumer by saying she carried Nimrod's child and named him Tammuz. Nimrod, she explained, had gone into the heavens and was now the sun, S-U-N. So the sun was the father, and the earth was the mother. Semiramis was, in effect, a deity representing the earth mother. I know some of y'all heard some of this stuff, so be paying attention when y'all hear people. Yes, Joanne, I'm going to keep cutting in, but yes, I heard that Joanne said, U.S. made up the 911. U.S. made up the 911, saying it was a terrorist act so that they could go and get Nimrod mummy and the artifacts from around him. They are using this in CERN. Yes, I read about that. I saw a video that they did. They're exhuming bodies, like, and what they're doing, they're literally trying to bring these mummies, these dead ancient pharaohs and stuff. They're trying to really bring them back to life. CERN is doing some wicked things in that whole science field, whatever they call themselves doing over there. But that's what they're trying to do. Anytime you hear CERN, know that they're trying to bring antimatter into the earth, meaning they're trying to open a portal, right? And they're trying to merge the unseen world and the physical realm together. They're literally, the rituals and stuff that they do, you can go find the videos. They will literally tell you that they're calling up Lucifer. They're trying to bring Lucifer into our realm. Like, they're not even playing about this, y'all. So y'all gotta understand who this is, the talking, who y'all worshiping, because y'all going, it's, if you're a food, you are going to be fooled, right? Okay, listen. Let me just go back. At his death, his wife mother consoled the people of Sumer by saying she carried Nimrod's child and named him Tammuz. Nimrod, she explained, had gone into the heavens and was now the sun, S-U-N. So the sun was the father and the earth was the mother. Semiramis was, in effect, a deity representing the earth mother. She was worshipped as Ishtar. Today, she is called Easter. Who is Easter? She is Gaia, Ashtaroth, Ishtar, Artemis, Venus, Aphrodite, Semiramis, Nature, Great Mother, Frigga, Libertas, Eostir, I think I said that wrong, Durga, Hathor, or the Queen of Heaven. They keep changing her name, but it's still the same person. It is Nimrod's mama. He had sex with his mama. Y'all, that's, first of all, that's forbidden by Yahuah's commandments. Incest is completely forbidden, right? Then after he died, she said she was pregnant with his child, right? She was pregnant with his child. And her child, which they call the Tammuz, was supposedly Nimrod reincarnated, right? The father reincarnated as a son. Guys, y'all better pay attention. They just changed the terms and changed the names of these people all throughout. And you Christians are really worshiping Tammuz, right? Christian, they won't tell you that, but that's why we're reading through this. So your eyes can be open to some of this hidden truth in plain sight. When you reject Yahuah's commands, by default, you get the strong delusion. Christianity is the strong delusion. Although there are many well-meaning people and they think they are worshiping the creator of heaven and earth, they are truly worshiping Tammuz. Yahuah talked to Ezekiel about it. He said, go on here, go and look at what the priests in the church doing. Go look what they're doing. You see the women? They're over there crying and weeping for Tammuz. Same thing still going on in the church. They weeping and crying for Tammuz, right? Baby JC or JC, that is Tammuz, people. Okay. Okay, let me just keep reading. Oh, let me show you this picture, just in case you ain't got the book. Right here. That's a picture that they put. Who is Easter? Right? And it's none other than Nimrod's mama wife. Yeah. The original witch on planet Earth was Semiramis, who became the great mother in many cultures. The mother of the gods and Mother Nature are references to her. It is so wicked, Hezekiah, I know, right? It's like when you see it, when you see this stuff, you cannot unsee it. Yeah, Trina, that's good. She said, I remember watching the guy who was breaking down the NT or the New Testament. He was explaining this about him marrying his mother. Yeah, I'm telling you. Look, this is it. When you see it, you can't unsee it, y'all. The original witch on planet Earth was Semiramis, who became the great mother in many cultures. the mother of the gods, and Mother Nature are references to her. Rome's title for her was Terra Mater, or Mother Earth, which is referred to her on bumper stickers as the goddess, or great goddess Magna Dei. She is known by the various names Ishtar, Easter, Venus, Aphrodite, Gaia, Diana, Circe, or Circe, C-I-R-C-E, Circe, Cybele, Juno, Rhea, and to the Hindus, she is Durga. Pagans worshipped in trinities inherited from Babel. Think about the church. Church do the same thing. You got the Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? Ain't talking about Yah. Yah said, I'm one. I'm Echad, right? That's why I was like, y'all got to go back and read the words of Yah. Read the words of Yah. When you read the words of Yah, when you get over here and you see this, your spirit should come to a halting stop. Wait a minute. Yahuah said he's one God. Now y'all telling us he three. Yahuah said his son was Israel. Now the whole nation of people. Now you're telling me his son is one person. Like, all of this should bring you to a halting stop. Whenever you hear people talking about there are contradictions in scripture, this is exactly what they're talking about. And some of them may just stop right there and they don't go see why the contradictions are there. But if you keep going, Yahuah will reveal to you all the leaven. He said, don't even take that into you there, and you will begin to see false doctrine. Although when you get back there, they'll tell you, don't you turn away from this, because this is the gospel. Anybody that speaks against this, let them be accursed. But what do Yahuah say? Should we believe what you say, or what the creator of heaven and earth and all of you, should we believe him? I'm going to take my chances and go with the authority. I'm going to listen to what Yahuah said, and I'm going to put you and all your words away. We're going to go with Yah. We worship Yah alone, please. Alex, Yah alone for 400. Thank you. Right? We're going with Yah every time. Listen. She is known by the various names Ishtar, Easter, Venus, Aphrodite, Gaia, Diana, Circe, Cybele, Juno, Rhea, and to the Hindus, she is Durga. Pagans worship in trinities, inherited from Babel, a father, a mother, and a child. Babel is the reigning head of the world's authoritarian control. Scripture uses an idiom to describe this system of control: beast. Any beast is an organism, and the four beasts of Revelation describe how the beast adapts and molds mankind to Babel's teaching authority over all the earth as time goes on, right? Babel remains the head of the beast and is called a mother of harlots. The woman of the beast household guides the whole operation under her authority. The beast's four avatars are manifestations of the original reign of Babel, so all the aspects of the first beast remain to this day. Witchcraft is rebellion, and it began with Nimrod and Semiramis at Babel. The great mother, or queen of heaven, became mixed into Christianity. At Revelation 2:20, her teachings are those of Isabel, which is Jezebel. Clearly there was no J. It is I, and it has Isabel. At Revelation 2:20, her teachings are those of Jezebel, a reference to the witch who married Ahab during the days of Eliyahu, which is, we know in scripture as Elijah. Remember, there was no E in Hebrew either, right? So anything with the letter E, there was actually an A. So when you see Elijah, it's actually Eliyahu, right? Or Aliyah. The teachings of Jezebel are practiced openly everywhere. They are based on the worship of Baal and Ashtoreth, but occulted, hidden in plain sight without being perceived. They are all about fertility, and this book will open your eyes to them. Are you practicing witchcraft without knowing it? Are you practicing witchcraft without knowing it? You are sobering up to see how nothing Yahuah commanded is practiced in Christianity. Y'all remember hearing me say all the time, the church is doing everything that Yahuah told us not to do, and people can't see it, especially when you don't go back to see what he said. They say, oh, that's been done away with, it's been fulfilled here, right? Misinterpretation of what should have been said, right? Not one jot, not one tittle of Yahuwah's law will be done away with. As long as heaven and earth is here, everything Yahuwah has said is still in operation. Is there still heaven and earth? We may not be able to see heaven, but we can clearly tell earth is still here because this is the realm in which we live, right? So clearly earth hasn't passed away. So that must mean everything Yahuwah has said is still in operation, right? And it will behoove us to find out what the creator of heaven and earth has said to us. It is called Fossilized Customs. And I'll put the link in all the videos since we started reading it, and for the whole period while we're reading it. You can go ahead and screenshot it if you want to. You can get it on Amazon. I think it was, what, $29 if I remember correctly. Anybody that needs to screenshot it, I'll give you a second. Just in case you don't have it and you want to get it. But I always do. Whatever we're reading from as our companion reading, I always put where you can get it on Amazon, right? I can give you the same link where I bought my copy from. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. Are you practicing witchcraft without knowing it? You are sobering up to see how nothing Yahuwah commanded is practiced by Christianity. Instead, everything he told us not to do is what is practiced. We have been deceived by teaching authorities given their great power by the dragon. Tradition is taught in the place of truth. You will learn how witchcraft is employed in unsuspecting ways, institutionalized through teaching authorities or the Nicolaitans. It is known by the Greek designation Christianity. The proof of this rebellion will awaken millions. Rebellion is as witchcraft. The best place to hide it is in plain sight. So if we get what he just said, Christianity is rebellion against Yahuwah, right? And all of us that Yahuwah has been waking up over the past few years, even as I go back and I do more studying, and even, well, at least from some older videos that I see from some older people, some are still here today, some have passed away. Even back then, like I found a video as old as like the 1970s, right? I was born in 1979. I have seen videos on YouTube, and I'm not sure if it was them people before they passed away or still living and maybe old to learn about YouTube. They have posted some of the teachings where even generations back then were saying this same stuff. They were trying to wake people up back then. And it seems new to us because Yahuwah is just now opening our eyes to the truth, right? To the great deception, to the strong delusion, because he is calling us out of her. He's calling us out of the belly of the beast, out of the beast system. Those who have had the mark, I want to mark you as my own. Come out of her, my people, right? Separate yourself. But it is people over the last few decades that have been trying to tell people that come out of Christianity, it is the beast system, it is the strong delusion, right? And I don't know, I guess because the time period of the time of the Gentiles has been fulfilled, now more people are seeing it now and they're coming out of it. You know, but Yahuwah has this perfect timing for everything. But I can see what previous generations have been trying to wake people up to this truth that we're just now coming into. I would say me, it's been almost 4 years now to where I really can see like, oh, snap, you know. But all my life, I can see how Yahuwah has been preparing me for the time where I could actually accept that I was in the beast system, right? And Yahuwah is perfect in all he does. And, you know, and the path that he chooses to wake people up is different for each one. Some people wake up here. Some people don't wake up till they get here. Some people don't wake up till they get here. Some people wake up all the way back here, and they're kind of like the posts or the pit stops that people kind of pass by. Oh, I remember such and such said that. Oh, I remember back in the day I heard that guy, he was saying this. Wait a minute, so you've been trying to wake me up all the way back then? Oh my gosh, why didn't I see it? Yahuwah has to cleanse so much out of you before you can actually perceive the truth, right? So, good morning, Kathy. Hey, girl, hey. Okay. It is known by the Greek designation Christianity. The proof of this rebellion will awaken millions. Rebellion is as witchcraft. The best place to hide it is in plain sight. Those with authority, or in parentheses it has ordained, endorsed, to teach are wizards and witches. They masquerade as messengers of light with titles like pastor, nun, pope, or bishop. They hold men's credentials, teaching authority, to teach error, producing the strong delusion. And we all know that because a lot of us have sat under it for many years, right? We was born into it. We have all been living in an artificial reality, pretending that everything we see and do has real substance. We have been beguiled by evil forces that keep the masses hypnotized and captive in strongholds of false reasoning. The truth will set us free of strong delusion as long as we live by Yahuah's word and not man's. Babylonian pillars, obelisks, represented by the generative powers of the male genitalia, were simultaneously images of the phallus, Nimrod, and the sun ray fertility. Fertility rituals such as maypole dances are still seen today. Ishtar is the same word we have today in Easter, which superseded Passover. It's Nimrod's mother, also known around the world as Asherah. Ashtoreth, Ishtar, Aelsir, Asatari, Maya, Gaia, Diana, Ninurta, Nana, Ceres, Astara, Ostron, Isis, Nut, the sky, Aphrodite, Venus, Indrani, Devaki, Tanit, Cybele, Artemis, Athena, and many others. The Canaanites called their shrines to the earth mother Asherim. And this right here, I'm going to show you this picture just in case y'all don't have the book. It's a maypole fertility dance. So and I've seen this. So if y'all seen this, this is what it's talking about. Right there. It's like a pole in the middle and everybody got strings and they go around in a circle like Ring-Around-The-Rosie, right? So what they're doing is actually, and I know they do this with kids in school. Ooh, on field day, I just thought about it one year. Oh, I want to throw up. I just thought about this. And they got different color strings and stuff and got the kids playing this game and they darn worshiping the mother of heaven. Semiramis. Can y'all see it? I think it's kind of, I hope it's not blurred. I know it's a black and white picture, but y'all get it, right? That's what they doing. They go after the kids, y'all, right? And they grow up in it. Oh, the kids can't have no Christmas. What they gonna do? Like they attack the kids, right? Make the parents feel bad. Like, oh, dude, the kids ain't gonna have no Christmas. That's how they get you. They go after the kids. All these commercials they put on TV is targeted. The rituals and stuff is targeted at the children, right? It's targeted at the children, and the children bombard the parents. But mom, but my friends, and I feel so left out. Oh, F my life, and everybody else get to do this. And I'm telling you guys, it's classic indoctrination at its best, because a lot of adults that got good common sense, they'll be like, absolutely not, no. But they know how to get you. They go right to your heart. You're cheering. Right to your children, right? Yes, they do. They start in elementary school. They get you. That's why schools were instituted, to push the doctrine so you can grow up in it. And it's so hard to turn away from the strong delusion. Yahuah literally has to smack you over your head again and again and again to break your state. Wake up, people. But he don't smack you. It's like a gentle waking up that he does, right? Until you get like, what in the world? What is this world we're really living in? What have we done? Right? Okay. Oh, right here too. Okay, the Canaanites called their shrines to the earth mother Asherim. And I'll go back and show you. We know the Asherim is the cross, the Christmas tree. What is this? Oh, steeples on a church, and you got another statue right here. You got JC on the cross, all of that. All of that is hidden in plain sight, y'all. Y'all are worshiping Semiramis, Queen Mother. Go by different names. Depending on what religion you in, it got a different name. But all the religions have been made to worship the Babylonian deity, false gods, right? Yahuah said all the gods of all the other nations are idols, right? He said, I'm the only living God. Okay. Easter, Babel's great mother. This word has been adopted from pagans as the name of the Earth Mother, Queen of Heaven, or Mother Nature. If you recognize Halloween for what it is, then this will be no different after you learn the truth. Easter was already one of the two biggest celebrations observed by pagans long before Christianity. Easter was celebrated by the Assyrians and the Philistines. Goliath, no doubt, had an Easter basket. You should look up Easter in a Webster's dictionary and do further research in other sources. This festival involved the rites of spring, R-I-T-E, R-I-T-E-S, rites of spring, and near the equinox of Venus, when pagans believed the Earth Mother was impregnated by the sun. They engaged in ritual sex acts, and they used symbols of fertility like eggs, rabbits, and hot cross buns. You want some hot cross buns? They even got kids on hot cross buns. Get out of here with that garbage. No, I want no hot cross buns. The Babylonian symbol for the female was and is a circle with a cross beneath. The round cakes were baked for the Queen of Heaven, Regina Coeli, and Great Mother, Magna Mater, with the cross symbol indicating the female. Okay, so there's some more pictures right here. And look, it's another one too. The Statue of Liberty, right up here, y'all. So these are examples of what he's talking about. Just in case y'all ain't got the book, I'm showing the pictures. Okay. Okay. The Babylonian symbol for the female was and is a circle with a cross beneath. The round cakes were baked for the Queen of Heaven, Regina Coeli, and Great Mother, Magna Mater, with the cross symbol indicating the female. The cross also indicated the equinox when the Earth's orbit crossed the celestial equator. Hold on now, because everything will be just fine. Stop and go read Jeremiah 44 right now. Okay, so let's read Jeremiah 44 real quick. Hold on. I wish I had my, hold on. What is this doing? Hold on. Let me just look at it real quick. Jeremiah 44. Oh, judgment for idolatry. Well, let's read it real quick. Okay. He says right here, the cross also indicated the equinox when the Earth's orbit crossed the celestial equator. Hold on now, because everything will be just fine. Stop and go read Jeremiah 44 right now. Okay, so Jeremiah 44 is judgment for idolatry. It says, this is the message Jeremiah received concerning the Judeans living in northern Egypt in the cities of Migdol, Taphanes, and Memphis, and in southern Egypt as well. This is what Yahuah, the God of heaven's armies, the God of Israel, says. You saw the calamity I brought on Jerusalem and all the towns of Judah. They now lie deserted and in ruins. They provoked my anger with all their wickedness. They burned their incense and worship other gods, God that neither they nor you nor any of your ancestors had ever known. Again and again, I sent my servants, the prophets, to plead with them. Do not do these horrible things that I hate so much. But my people would not listen or turn back from their wicked ways. They kept on burning incense to these gods. So my fury bored over and fell like fire on the towns of Judah and into the streets of Jerusalem. And they are all still a desolate ruin today. And now Yahuah, the God of heaven's armies, the God of Israel, asks you, why are you destroying yourselves? For not one of you will survive, not a man, woman, or child among you who has come here from Judah, not even your babies in your arms. Why provoke my anger by burning incense to these idols you have made here in Egypt? You will only destroy yourselves and make yourselves an object of cursing and mockery for all the nations of the earth. Have you forgotten the sins of your ancestors, the sins of the kings and queens of Judah, and the sins you and your wives committed in Judah and Jerusalem? To this very hour you show no remorse or reverence. No one has chosen to follow my word and decrees I gave to you and your ancestors before you. Therefore, this is what Yahuah, the God of heaven's armies, the God of Israel, says: I am determined to destroy every one of you. I will take this remnant of Judah, those who were determined to come here and live in Egypt, and I will consume them. They will fall here in Egypt, killed by war and famine. All will die, from the least to the greatest. They will become an object of damnation, horror, cursing, and mockery. I will punish them in Egypt just as I punished them in Jerusalem, by war, famine, and disease. Of that remnant who fled to Egypt, hoping someday to return to Judah, there will be no survivors. Even though they long to return home, only a handful will do so. Then all the women present and all the men who knew that their wives had burned incense to idols, a great crowd of all the Judeans living in northern Egypt and southern Egypt, answered Jeremiah, we will not listen to your messages from Yahuah. We will do whatever we want. Ain't that just like it? We coming back and tell people, listen, y'all doing what's wrong. Yahuah say, don't do this. Y'all, Christianity is telling, and not just Christianity, but all these religions, but those from that been scattered into different religions, and Yahuah is waking up. They got the same message that I'm teaching. Return to Yahuah alone. Put all these things away, or you will be completely destroyed along with the system that you have been born into, the beast, right? Listen, and this is what a lot of them are saying. Get out of here. Jesus is real. Then all the women present and all the men who knew that their wives had burned incense to idols, a great crowd of all the Judeans living in northern Egypt and southern Egypt, answered Jeremiah, we will not listen to your messages from Yahuah. We will do whatever we want. We will burn incense and pour out liquid offerings to the Queen of Heaven. Who's the Queen of Heaven? Ishtar, right? Semiramis. We will burn incense and pour out liquid offerings to the Queen of Heaven just as much as we like, just as we and our ancestors and our kings and officials have always done in the towns of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For in those days we had plenty to eat, and we were well off and had no troubles. But ever since we quit burning incense to the Queen of Heaven and stopped worshiping her with liquid offerings, we have been in great trouble and have been dying from war and famine. And that's what a lot of people think. Let me just, before I finish reading this, let me just tell you something. Here's something I noticed. And Yahuah helped me real quick. Some people, when they when they come out of the Babylonian system, they're so used to doing their prayers in JC name and everything and praying to JC. Instead of going straight to Yah, they pray to JC. So what happens is, when they decide to step away from the Babylonian system and turn to Yah and begin keeping his law, statutes, and commands, what happens is a lot of times Yahuah begins to quickly deal with them, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that went wrong. Oh my gosh, have I stepped off into a cult or something? Oh my gosh, I done turned away from JC and my soul is condemned to hell. Now all these things are going wrong. No, Yahuah is bringing immediate correction to you so you can begin to align yourself aright. But a lot of people, they still don't get it, and they go back and they're hooked back into Christianity because they're thinking that, oh my gosh, everything is going wrong around me because I've turned away from JC, when it's not the case. If you would just stop for a moment and think, what is falling off around you? What is going wrong to you? Things are being uncovered. Yahuah is revealing truth. And you have been steeped in deception so long that you don't realize that what is falling off from around you, or the things that you think are going wrong, is Yahuah actually cleansing you and removing the things that should not be there, right? And a lot of people don't get it. And Yahuah says that when we fall into line with Yahuah's commands and stuff, he tends to deal with us a lot more quickly. Don't do that. It'll get you off over here, right? And he'll begin to deal with you quickly unless you constantly ignore his voice. And then it's like your conscience becomes seared, and you can really now only hear his voice faintly, to where before you know it, you back out there doing what you was doing before, right? Because you've chosen to reject his teaching, his correction, and now it's just, you are just off. And sometimes you're worse off than what you first were. So you got to realize, when we begin to line up, Yahuah begins to deal with us quickly, swiftly. He deals with his people, right? To wake you up, to get your attention, to make you become responsible for your actions and what's going on around you. Christianity puts you to sleep, and you blame everything and put everything on the shoulders of JC. He did it all. He died for everything. Where Yahuah says, I want you to be responsible for your own self, right? The wicked will die for their own sins. The righteous cannot die for the sins of the wicked. I'm making you personally responsible for your own life. You choose life or death, right? Where Christianity say, no, take everything you do, put it on the shoulders of him, you go home and do what you do. And they keep you asleep. Don't do that. Let me go back. But ever since we quit burning incense to the Queen of Heaven and stopped worshiping her with her liquid offerings, we have been in great trouble and have been dying from war and famine. You're dying because you're not keeping Yahuah's commands. When you come out of her, keep Yahuah's commands. He said, when you keep my commands, I will keep you. There's a blessing and a safety that keeps you when you line up. You don't just come out of here and you all just here. No, you come out of here and you cling to Yah, right? And clinging to Yah will get you cleaned up. It'll keep you safe and it'll help you walk in the paths of righteousness. This is the way. Walk ye in it. Besides, the women added, do you suppose that we were burning incense and pouring out liquid offerings to the Queen of Heaven and making cakes marked with her image without our husbands knowing it and helping us? Of course not. So they said, look, we doing all this and you think that our husbands didn't know? Our husbands knew. They was right there with us, right? Same thing, Adam and Eve. And everybody want to blame it on the women. No, he was right there with her. Go ahead, give me some of that fruit, right? That's what they said. Besides, the women added, do you suppose that we were burning incense and pouring out liquid offerings to the Queen of Heaven and making cakes marked with her image without our husbands knowing it and helping us? Of course not. Then Jeremiah said to all of them, men and women alike who had given him their answer, do you think that Yahuah did not know you and your ancestors, your kings and officials, and all the people were burning incense to idols in the towns of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? It was because Yahuah could no longer bear all the disgusting things you were doing that he made your land an object of cursing, a desolate ruin without inhabitants, as it is today. All these terrible things happened to you because you burned incense to idols and sinned against Yahuah. You have refused to obey him and have not followed his instructions, his decrees, and his laws. Then Jeremiah said to all of them, including the women, listen to this message from Yahuah, all you citizens of Judah who live in Egypt. This is what Yahuah, the God of heaven's armies, the God of Israel, says. You and your wives have said we will keep our promises to burn incense and pour out liquid offerings to the Queen of Heaven, or to Semiramis, right? And you have proved by your actions that you meant it. So go ahead and carry out your promises and vows to her. But listen to this message from Yahuah, all you Judeans now living in Egypt. And Yahuah is talking to his own people, right? He talked to hard-headed folk, our ancestors. That's who he talking to, right? But listen to this message from Yahuah, all you Judeans now living in Egypt. I have sworn by my great name, says Yahuah, that my name will no longer be spoken by any of the Judeans in the land of Egypt. None of you may invoke my name or use this oath, as surely as the sovereign Lord lives. For I will watch over you to bring you disaster and not good. Everyone from Judah who is now living in Egypt will suffer war and famine until all of you are dead. Only a small number will escape death and return to Judah from Egypt. Then all of those who came to Egypt will find out whose words are true, mine or theirs. And this is the proof I will give you, says Yahuah, that all that I have threatened will happen to you, and that I will punish you here. This is what Yahuah says. I will turn to Pharaoh Hophra, the king of Egypt, over to his enemies, who will want to kill him, just as I turned King Zedekiah of Judah over to Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. Right? Who want to play with that fire? Not I. Turn from doing those disgusting things and turn back to Yah alone. Okay, look. The cross also indicated the equinox when the Earth's orbit crossed the celestial equator. Hold on now, because everything will be just fine. Stop and go read Jeremiah 44 right now, which we just read. You will see Asherah was the same earth mother called the Queen of Heaven, which Yasharal or Israel committed sexual idolatry with. The maypole ritual uses a pole or phallus, a wreath, which represents the vagina, and ribbons, the hymen. And they show another picture of this. Right? To ensure a prosperous growing season, pagans rolled eggs decorated with bright colors of spring on their field, hoping to imbue fertility. They worship Ahura, Haoma, and Ormazd as their trinity. The Greek deity Zeus was a solar deity whose mother is sometimes seen with a headpiece very much like Lady Liberty, depicting the rays of the sun. Rays or halos are an indication astrology is involved somehow. The Britannica Encyclopedia, 1934, states Easter, or Ashtara or Easter, was the goddess of spring in the religion of the ancient Anglos and Saxons. Every April, a festival was celebrated in her honor. With the beginnings of Christianity, the old gods were put aside. From then on, the festival was celebrated in honor of the resurrection of Christ, but was still known as Easter after the old goddess. In contrast, the Creator says, break down their altars, smash their sacred stones, and burn their Asherah or Easter poles in the fire. Cut down the idols of their Elohim and wipe out their names from those places. You must not worship Yahuah, your Elohim, in their way. Deuteronomy 12. Elohim means lofty or mighty one, which they replace it and they use the E and say Elohim, but the proper pronunciation is Elohim. Okay, that's pretty clear. But what happened? The hypothesis of this book is that as the pagans and their manners were absorbed or became Christianity, the policy to accept everything the pagans were accustomed to celebrating became the norm. They eliminated everything Yahuah told us to do. Let's hear it directly from the Catholic organization itself. The Catholic Cardinal John Henry Newman's book, The Essay on the Development of Christian Doctrine, published in 1878, states in Chapter 8, the rulers of the church from early times were prepared, should the occasion arise, to adopt, to imitate, or to sanctify the existing rites and customs of the population, as well as the philosophy of the educated class. The use of temples and those dedicated to particular saints and ornamented on occasions with branches of trees, wreaths, incense, lamps, candles, votive offerings on recovering from illness, holy water, holy days and seasons, the entire church calendar, use of calendars, processions, blessings on the fields, excuse me, sacerdotal vestments, the ring in marriage, chants, the Kyrie eleison, are all of pagan origin and sanctified by adoption into the church. John Henry Newman's book, excuse me, was written in response to Alexander Hislop's The Two Babylons. But you may ask, if Easter was a pagan festival celebrating the impregnation of Mother Earth, how did it get mixed up with Christianity? Christianity's sun cult, or S-U-N cult, sun cult, Christianity's sun cult connection started with one man more than any other. In 325 CE, the Roman Emperor Constantine I convened what is now called the Nicene Council, gathering 220 elders or bishops together in order to unify basic doctrines or teachings and establish common practices. One objective was to set a universal date for Eastertide. If Constantine had not done this, you would have never heard your pastor utter the word Easter, and you would be observing Passover each year in its proper time. Yahuah's Nazarene don't observe an Eastertide. He's not the Easter lamb. He's the Passover lamb. And I kind of take a little, I take issue with that because, granted, although he has good information here, some things are still just a little bit off, because we are to be sacrificing humans Like, I think he got everything correct. But like I said, I'm waiting for a 13th edition for him to get this part correct. But when we get to any time he refers to Yeshua as the sacrificial lamb or the Passover lamb, I'm correcting it, right? That is not what Yahuah said. Yahuah said human sacrifice is abominable. Matter of fact, he says that through here, but for some reason he's still not connecting the part how they made Yeshua an idol to be worshipped, when he was simply doing the same job that the prophets had done. When the prophets come, we go to Yah, just like Jeremiah, worship Yah, turn back to him. And that, according to the New Testament, that's what he should have been doing, right? Turning everybody back to Yah. But somewhere down the line, it got chopped and screwed, where now his message, it's been chopped and screwed up. And now, instead of everybody worshiping Yah, or him pointing everybody back to Yah, everybody's now worshiping him and have made him an idol and put him on t-shirts and crosses and everything. And that is not what should have happened, right? But we're learning how to uncover all the lies and return to truth, right? Okay. Should we stop there? Okay, we'll stop there because we're already hour and 15 minutes. So this will pick back up with Constantine tomorrow on page 31, y'all. Okay. I just looked at the time. We're at an hour and 15 minutes. I'm so sorry. Okay, y'all. We read in Fossilized Customs, page 24 to page 30. So like I said, we just started with Constantine and how everything started developing over the years, and we'll pick it back up with him tomorrow. If you have the book and you want to read ahead, go ahead and read ahead. I'm not stopping you. If you need to take in and let assimilate what we've already read, go back and read what we've already read, y'all. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I truly did. Today is Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is May the 4th, 2021, day 144 of year 3 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets, also known as the Old Testament. I don't really like the term Old Testament. It's a misnomer. They named it wrong, right? It makes it seem like it's obsolete when it's really not. It's the Tanakh, right? The books of law and instructions and the prophets, right? And of the 3-year consecutive day count is day 813. We read First Chronicles 14, 15, and 16. And we also read Jeremiah 44, right? And we read in Fossilized Customs pages 24 through 30. Beautiful people. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up the blessing, which is found in Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. Remember, the first 21 verses, people, is a Nazarite vow. Man or woman can take it. Everybody should consider it. Don't take it lightly. It's not a vow that should be taken lightly, but everybody should consider at least once in their life setting themselves aside, set apart for Yahuah, right? And just totally dedicate yourself to him. The blessing, beginning at verse 22. And Yahuah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, or the descendants, the sons and daughters of Jacob. Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuah bless us and keep us. May Yahuah make his face shine upon us, and be gracious unto us. May Yahuah lift up his countenance upon us and give us peace. And they shall put my name. Whose name? Yahuah's name. Nobody else's name. Yahuah said, put my name upon the children of Jacob, or upon the children of Israel. Remember, Jacob was renamed to Israel. It's a person, not just a landmass. It's a people. Put my name upon all of his children. Put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Right? I just like to keep re-emphasizing that just in case some people don't get it or it's not clicking yet, right? All right, beautiful people. So let me double check. No, really.
Good morning, Mom.
The Statue of Liberty is what? Yes, Dana. It is Semiramis reincarnated, right? They call it the statue. They just give it different names throughout the different times. But no, Lady Liberty is representing the goddess of heaven, the queen of heaven, Semiramis. Morning to the baby. Yes, that's what the Statue of Liberty is. Okay. Go back over here. See if any questions. Hezekiah, don't forget to post. You probably already did, but don't forget to post that link over in the comment section today so I can look at it. I appreciate that. Okay. That's right. I like what Hezekiah said. He said, that's why I have to remember patience with some people because they are truly deluded from birth. Yes. And I think that's what gives me a lot of patience with some people. Even people that come try and argue me down on stuff. You can, but okay, you want to argue? Okay, you present your case and let me present Yahuah's case as he has taught it to us, right? In hopes that they'll begin like, well, shoot. It said, what now? Maybe hold on, let me go look at my Bible, make sure she ain't tricking me. And I go get your favorite Bible, your favorite book of scriptures, right? And I want you to read with your own eyes. And so we definitely have to have patience with people because the religion has taught them to fight for what you believe. Anything anybody else says is off key. We shouldn't listen to them. They're trying to lead you astray when really we're trying to enlighten them and bring light to their eyes. And they're the ones that have been deluded, right? We're trying to wake them up, right? And so I have to, even when in some of my responses, I have to make it known. I have to be careful when I use caps. And sometimes I put, okay, when I'm using caps, it's not because I'm yelling at you. It's because I'm trying to bring something to light. And now that I've learned how to bold some comments, I'll just bold them in my comment section so it don't look like I'm yelling at them. But I want them to see that I'm not arguing back and forth with them, but I want them to see like, hey, maybe you missed this. Go check this. Think about this. And maybe some of the information that they possibly could be missing will help to awaken them, right? It'll drop a little bit of light here and there, a little here, a little there. Wait a minute, what? Wait, that don't make sense. Wait a minute, but we was taught this, but what she said just made sense, or what he said just made sense. Wait a minute. Hold on. Now I'm confused. Wait a minute, hold on. And it should get you to that point. Not that you're confused, but it makes you stop and think and question what you really believe. And you need to vet what you believe and make sure what you believe is based on truth. And what is truth? Oh, Yah, your words are truth, right? We need to awaken to truth. Yah, your words is truth, right? Everything needs to be vetted against what Yahuah says, right? Okay, so. Ooh, Auntie, she said, oh man, for some reason, Ring-Around-The-Rosie song popped in my head early this morning. I thought to myself, where did that come from? Boom, because Yahuah is telling you what we was going to be reading today. Ain't he good? Look. Okay. But yeah, I get so excited about truth and waking people up. Some people be ready to fight me. But that's okay. I try and pour water on the situation as much as possible to try to bring their tempers down a little bit. So I kid and joke with some people like, look, you're being too serious, man. You're trying to fight for something that's not even true. But I'm just trying to, look, let's walk together. Can we walk together? You know, but I gotta keep my eyes on folk, right? Because people really, they be ready to crucify me, right? These is not my words. I'm just telling you what y'all has said. I'm simply repeating to you. I'm just like, come on, man. Y'all can't be this hard. Just at least go look it up, right? Okay. Ooh. You said, did I skip pages? Oh, snap. Did I? Page 28 and 29? Oh, shoot. Did I skip a page off? Oh, not. Wait.
The bus is coming.
I did skip a page. Oh my gosh. How did I? Oh, I should go back and read it. My pages must have really been stuck together. Oh my God.
Mommy.
Yes, baby. Hold
Look.
on. I surely did. I'm so sorry. I didn't do that on purpose, y'all. I'm glad I went back and read the comments. Hold on.
Mom.
Okay. Let me make myself a note. We're going to read page 28 and 29 of mine. Thank you, Mom. Yes, baby girl.
Bus is coming.
I know, but they're not coming for us. Hold on. Hold on, y'all.
You take me to school?
I'm so sorry. I did not do that on purpose. My pages must have been stuck together. Okay. Yeah, we definitely. Yeah, because I didn't show y'all these pictures. Because I'm in the habit of showing y'all pictures. And this is the page I skipped by mistake. I did not do that on purpose, y'all. But since we are already at an hour and 23 minutes, I won't read it today, but we will start off with this tomorrow.
Let me see.
I'm so sorry.
Let me see.
You see?
What is that?
It's uncovering lies that people have been taught. Oh, man. Darn it. I'm gonna be double checking, make sure I ain't skipping pages now. Pages sticking together. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so when I come back to this and read page 28 and 29 tomorrow, we will reread page 30 because it's gonna just flow right in here. And what's crazy, because this in it, look, if it had a continued sentence, I probably would have caught it. But since 27 ended the sentence and page 30 actually began a new sentence, I didn't catch it. Oh, man. Okay, but if you got it, go ahead and read it yourself. But we'll come back and we're gonna fix a mistake. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate y'all watching out for me. Watch my back. I watch y'all also, right? Help a sister out. I didn't realize I did that, y'all. Thank you. Okay, so with that being said, we will read this tomorrow. I'm gonna put my marker right there. Like I said in this. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you for that. I did. I'm sorry. I did. I skipped pages, but not on purpose. Okay. All right, y'all. So that's it. We ain't got nothing else. I don't see any more questions. But I love hanging out with y'all every day. Thank y'all for coming to hang out with me while I stay on my post. I will see y'all back here tomorrow morning, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gotta go, people. Everybody go to work. Have a wonderful day at work. If you're working today, whatever you're doing, spending time in your garden, spending time with y'all, whatever. Be blessed today, y'all. Love y'all. See y'all back here in the morning. Peace.